Hi, my name is Dr. Erica Steele, and in this Wellness Wednesday, I want to talk about the difference between treating symptoms versus treating causes. Many people develop symptoms over time. And when they're developing symptoms over time, they're not always cognizant of how they're actually feeling. And I think that goes into how busy our society is. Everyone's running here, running there. They've got their significant other, they have their children, they have their home, their work, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we almost have a culture of self neglect. And so we don't really pay attention to how we're feeling, let alone how we're feeling in our bodies. And many of us check out most of the time. We're busy thinking about all the things that could go wrong or would go wrong or maybe would go wrong. We're dwelling on the past. We're beating ourselves up. We're telling ourselves all kinds of different things, on and on and on. And so when we're doing all of this thinking and experiencing and busying, right, we're not really feeling how exactly it is to be in our bodies. So we tend to not notice when, let's say, we have gassing or bloating, or we're constipated, or, we're not drinking enough water, we're not eating healthy, or maybe we do know, but we're just so busy, we just can't focus on that. So then gradually over time, our bodies break down, and our bodies break down because they're nutrient deprived. If we don't have enough gas in the gas tank, our bodies aren't going to be able to be fueled properly. So then eventually what happens is we start to develop a symptom. The symptom is, a subtle messenger, a cue that the body is telling us to say, hey, pay attention to me. And then oftentimes we ignore that. So we don't listen to it. We continue to go on and on and on. And then all of a sudden it stops us in our tracks and forces us to pay attention to it. And then we go to our primary care, or we go to a specialist, or we go to this doctor or that doctor, looking for answers, trying to understand why. Oftentimes, I get patients after they've been to every doctor underneath the sun. They've been to their primary care physician, they've been to multiple specialists, and a lot of times they have really kind of odd symptoms that can't really be easily diagnosed and summarized into a little bulletin point. My job is to find the cause of why the body is expressing that. As a naturopathic doctor, we see symptoms as the body's messengers telling us that it's healing. So, for instance, if a patient's detoxing and they have a detox symptom, that actually is a sign of the body healing that we look for, right? Whereas in an untrained eye, we would say, oh, no, there's something wrong, let's suppress it. Right. And so the causative and finding the causative is much more complex than symptoms. And so we don't often focus on symptoms. We don't often focus on oh, I'm going to fix this symptom and that symptom and this symptom and that symptom. And so sometimes patients can come in and be frustrated or even discouraged because I'm not focused on the symptoms, because my job is to find the root causes. And so I have to peel back all these onion layers to really figure out what those root causes may be. And those root causes could have started, at birth, they could have started in the womb, they could have started at early childhood. And we have a lot of tools to be able to measure that, but also to be able to effectively, precisely, and quickly, efficiently figure out exactly where those causes began, where those triggers were, and then what domino effect happened as a result. We often say that things don't just happen overnight. The body just doesn't wake up and have disease. A lot of times people will come in and they'll go, oh, this just happened out of nowhere. And I'll have to really be kind of blunt with them and say, no, this didn't happen out of nowhere. This was built consistently, deliberately over an extended period of time. And that's what happens with disease, but it also happens with health. You build health consistently, deliberately over an extended period of time. And that's what builds health. And that's what builds a healthy lifestyle. And so that's really what we teach with our patients here at Holistic Family Practice. We help them live naturally. We teach them how to be present in their bodies. We teach them how to be present with what's the difference between a healing response response and let's say an alarm response, we also teach them about finding causatives versus chasing after the symptoms. Chasing after symptoms can be very, very exhausting, but looking for those root causes can be extremely rewarding, but we do have to do it with an open mind, a patient heart, and a steady hand. Thank you so much for listening to this Wellness Wednesday. My name is Dr. Erica Steele, and I'm a naturopathic doctor and founder of Holistic Family Practice.